The weather across the United States is about to go on a wild ride. As we move from mid-November into December, the country is split between record warmth and incoming storms. In some regions it feels like early autumn, with sunshine and temperatures far above normal. But elsewhere, a much more active pattern is emerging, promising storms, heavy rain, and a dramatic shift to colder conditions. The warm and cold air are battling for control, setting the stage for significant weather events from coast to coast. A large, high-pressure system is bringing summer-like warmth to millions, while the Pacific is sending a series of strong storms toward the west coast. These storms will bring much-needed rain, but also the risk of flooding. The weather affects our daily plans, travel, and safety. What starts as a warm, sunny day can quickly turn stormy. We'll break down the record warmth, track the storms moving into California, and explore the arrival of a major Arctic blast as December begins. The quiet, mild weather many are experiencing is just the calm before a much more active, winter-like pattern. From record heat to flooding rains and severe storms to a polar vortex disruption, the next few weeks will have it all. We'll explain what's happening in simple terms, so you can be prepared for whatever the weather brings. The atmosphere is gearing up for a spectacular show, and we'll be watching every moment. A huge dome of high pressure is sitting over the central U.S., causing incredibly warm weather. This system acts like a cap, trapping heat and allowing temperatures to soar 20 to 30 degrees above normal for mid-November. For many cities it feels more like September than the holiday season, with records that have stood for decades now in jeopardy. States like Texas, Oklahoma, and Arkansas are seeing some of the most extreme temperatures, with cities like Wichita Falls and Abilene reaching the low 90s. Even overnight lows are unusually mild, making nights comfortable from Nebraska to Michigan. This isn't just a one-day event. The warm spell is lasting for several days and covering a massive part of the country. The strong, slow-moving, high pressure is the reason for this persistent pattern. While many enjoy the warmth, it's fueling a lot of energy in the atmosphere. When this warm, moist air eventually clashes with incoming cold, it will set the stage for powerful storms. So, while the sunshine is pleasant now, it's also a warning. More dramatic weather is on the way. One extreme is setting up the next, creating a chain reaction across the continent. While the central and eastern U.S. basks in warmth, the West Coast faces a completely different story. California is bracing for a series of 3 major storms, an atmospheric river bringing deep Pacific moisture. The first storm arrives this weekend, delivering heavy rain to central and southern California. Cities like Los Angeles and San Diego could see hours of steady, heavy rain, raising immediate flooding concerns. A second, potentially stronger storm hits Monday, soaking already saturated ground and increasing flood risk. The Sierra Nevada will get significant snow, good for water supply but dangerous for travel. A third storm is likely late next week, continuing the wet, active pattern. The relentless rain from these back-to-back systems could trigger widespread flooding and mudslides. California residents face a challenging week as the storms line up. The cumulative effect of these storms is what makes this pattern so dangerous. The storms hitting California will deliver impressive and dangerous amounts of rain. Several inches could fall from Sacramento to Los Angeles in just a day or two, overwhelming drainage systems. Urban flooding is a major risk, with streets turning into rivers and travel becoming hazardous. Mudslides are a serious threat in hilly areas, especially where wildfires have stripped away vegetation. Heavy rain on burn scars can trigger fast-moving debris flows, destroying homes and blocking roads. The repeated rounds of rain only increase these risks. Meanwhile, the Sierra Nevada will see heavy snow, vital for water supply but creating blizzard conditions and dangerous travel. Interstate 80 and other mountain passes could become impassable. The combination of flooding, mudslides, and mountain snow will test California's resilience. Residents should prepare for a week of weather hazards. The stormy weather won't stay on the West Coast. It's heading across the country. The first Pacific storm brings rain to the Great Lakes, with Chicago and Detroit seeing showers that feel more like spring than November. Some higher elevations in New England and parts of Canada could see their first snow of the season. The second, stronger storm will move into the central U.S. around November 20th, tapping into Gulf moisture. Heavy rain is expected from the Great Lakes to the Gulf Coast, with flooding possible in the already wet Mississippi Valley. This late-week storm will impact millions as they prepare for Thanksgiving, causing travel delays and flood watches. The clash between warm and cold air will fuel not just rain, but the potential for more dangerous weather. This is the first big battle between lingering warmth and incoming Arctic air. The stage is set for severe weather as the system moves east. The nation is bracing for a major weather event. As the storm moves into the central U.S., conditions are ripe for severe weather. The main threat develops Thursday night into Friday, targeting Dixie Alley, Mississippi, Alabama, Tennessee, and the Gulf Coast. Warm, humid Gulf air will collide with a strong cold front, creating the risk for damaging winds, large hail, and even tornadoes. Straight-line winds can be as destructive as weak tornadoes, and large hail can damage cars and crops. The tornado threat is real, especially if the storm system slows or strengthens. Residents in cities like Nashville, Birmingham, and Jackson should stay alert and have a safety plan. Late November is a second season for severe weather in the South, as strong systems interact with lingering warmth. Dangerous storms can happen any month. Being prepared is essential. Monitor forecasts and know your safe place before warnings are issued. Severe weather is a critical reminder to stay weather aware. As December approaches, a dramatic shift to much colder temperatures is on the way. The cause, a disruption in the polar vortex, a pool of frigid air usually locked over the North Pole. Sometimes a sudden stratospheric warming event weakens the vortex, pushing Arctic air southward. That's happening now. The polar vortex is being stretched and displaced, sending cold air into North America. This process takes time, but the first signs will be felt in late November, with the full impact arriving in December. The disruption is the main driver behind the upcoming pattern change, replacing record warmth with an Arctic blast. Warmth over Alaska is helping push the cold air south. When meteorologists mention the polar vortex, they're talking about this pool of Arctic air, not a new storm. Millions will soon experience a true taste of winter as the cold air surges south. The stage is set for a major pattern change. Get ready for a dramatic shift. The Arctic air will arrive in stages, spreading from west to east. The first effects hit the western U.S. during Thanksgiving week, with Montana, Wyoming, and the Dakotas feeling the chill. The east stays warm a bit longer, but the west sees a sharp temperature drop. By early December, the cold expands into the Midwest and Great Plains. Minneapolis and Omaha will plunge below freezing. The East Coast holds on to mild weather briefly, but the cold is closing in. By the second week of December, Arctic air dominates most of the country, with the coldest conditions in the northern plains and upper Midwest. The chill could reach as far south as the Gulf Coast, with cities like Dallas seeing freezing temperatures. This is a true Arctic outbreak, with the potential for significant winter storms as cold air meets moisture. Heavy snow could fall from the northern plains to New England, and even southern cities might see flakes. The nation is in for a very active and possibly white holiday season. Winter is arriving in full force. With wild swings from record heat to flooding rains and Arctic cold, safety is key. During heavy rain, especially in California, never drive through flooded roads. Turn around, don't drown. If you live near burn scars, have an evacuation plan for mudslides and listen for alerts. Keep an emergency kit with essentials ready. In the South, have multiple ways to receive severe weather warnings and know your safe place before storms hit. As Arctic air arrives, check your heating, seal drafts, and dress in layers to prevent frostbite and hypothermia. Limit time outdoors in frigid temperatures and check on elderly neighbors. Staying informed and prepared makes all the difference. Nature's extremes don't have to be scary if you're ready. By understanding the risks and having a plan, you can navigate the changing weather with confidence. Stay warm, stay safe, and be weather aware.